Meet Kurt Lee Arendse, a try-scoring blur of green and gold, and one of the most lethal finishers in world rugby, with an incredible strike rate and footwork that leaves defenders grasping at air. He's the embodiment of speed and determination. He's already lifted trophies in the United Rugby Championship and won a Rugby World Cup. But just a few years ago, that destiny was anything but certain. The dream of wearing the Springbok jersey was fading. Arendse wasn't in some elite rugby academy, often told he was too small for the professional game. His chances were dismissed. He was working in a butchery to make ends meet, his pro rugby hopes slipping away with every passing day. His journey was stalled, a million miles from the roar of an international stadium, until a legend of the game saw a reflection of himself in a young man, unknown player from his hometown. This is the untold story of the secret mentor who discovered Kurt Lee Arendse and set him on a path to change his life forever. If you like stories like this, please hit the subscribe button. So, how did Kurt Lee Arendse's miracle rise happen? First, you have to understand where he came from. He grew up in Paarl, South Africa, and attended Paarl Secondary School, in a country where the path to the Springboks usually runs through a handful of powerful rugby schools. Paulus Joubert wasn't on that list. It lacked the polished facilities and manicured fields found just across the river. In fact, Arendse's school rugby master revealed they nicknamed the field Thorn Bay because it was covered in thorns. He joked that Arendse's magical sidestep wasn't taught, but developed by dodging thorns on the pitch. On this thorny field, a diamond was being formed in the rough, his talent raw, his future completely uncertain. After school, the pathway forward was blurry, while other future stars signed academy contracts. Arendse worked a full-time job in a local butchery, a world away from professional sport. For many, that would have been the end of the road, but Arendse was different. He later said he never once thought his rugby career was over. His focus was absolute. After a full day at the butchery, he'd head straight to the gym. He was driven by a powerful belief. I always wanted to be ready if my chance came, and I believed it would come. He kept himself in peak condition, waiting for someone to finally notice. All he needed was one person to take a chance on him. That person was Chester Williams, a lightning-fast winger, a hero of the historic 1995 World Cup winning team, a symbol of hope in a changing South Africa. Williams was an icon, and as fate would have it, he grew up just a stone throw away from Arendse's home in Paarl. In 2014, while coaching at the University of the Western Cape, Williams was watching a local academy game. One player stood out. Williams was reportedly blown away by Arendse's performance. He saw the speed, the step, and the hunger. He saw potential. Without hesitation, Williams offered Arendse a chance to play for UWC in the Varsity Shield competition. This was more than a recruitment. It was a lifeline. Arendse himself said, "He was the one that gave me an opportunity when there was no one that wanted to give me an opportunity." He added, "He believed in me more than I believed in myself." That belief was the spark for everything. The mentorship was immediate. UWC's director of sport remembers Williams constantly telling him about his new recruit. When he finally went to a training session, he saw Arendse watching from the sideline because he didn't own a pair of rugby boots. The next day, Chester Williams bought his young protege a new pair. At the next session, Arendse's performance convinced UWC coaching staff a star had truly arrived. Think about what that simple act meant. It wasn't just about equipment, it was about dignity and a mentor investing in a player when he had nothing. UWC's director of sport noted how close their bond was, saying Chester used to tell him that Kurt Lee reminded him of his own humble beginnings, and that is what pushed Williams to always keep him close. Arendse, a humble and respectful student, had found a mentor who didn't just understand his talent, but his entire journey. With Chester Williams' backing, Kurt Lee Arendse finally had his shot. Playing for UWC, he exploded onto the university scene, helping them win the Varsity Shield and earn a historic promotion to the prestigious Varsity Cup. He was a prolific try scorer, and his name started getting noticed, not by the traditional 15-a-side unions, but by a talent spotter in the world of sevens. His time in the sevens forged him into the weapon he is today. In 2018, he was named the MVP of the Varsity Cup Sevens tournament, which led to an invitation to the South African Rugby Sevens Academy. The Sevens circuit is where his raw speed, was honed into world-class asset. It taught him to find space, exploit gaps, and develop the incredible one-on-one attacking skill that are now his trademarks. It also transformed his defense. Despite his size, Sevens taught him how to be fearless and effective low tackler. In 2019, he made his debut for the national sevens team, the Blitsbokke. However, the COVID-19 pandemic brought the sevens world to a halt, forcing Arendse to adapt. It was then that legendary coach Jake White signed him for the Bulls in 2020. The move to the professional 15-a-side game was seamless. He made an immediate impact at the Bulls with his electric pace and tenacious defense, making him a fan favorite. In March 2022, he was voted the URC Player of the Month. A few months later, the dream he kept alive on the thorny fields and in the butchery finally came true. In July 2022, Kurt Lee Arendse made his Springbok debut against Wales. When Arendse pulled on the green and gold jersey, it was a moment of triumph, but it was also bittersweet. In September 2019, just as Arendse's career was taking off, his mentor, Chester Williams, passed away suddenly at the age of 49. The man who discovered him and bought him his first boots never got to see his protege play for the Springboks. Arendse openly spoke about this profound sadness, saying, "It's sad that he can't see me play in the Bok jersey. It's really very sad. The man who saw the future World Cup winner wasn't there to witness his own prophecy come true. Yet, Chester's influence lives on every time Arendse takes the field. There's a powerful sense among those who knew them both that Arendse is now playing for his mentor. Arendse carries the memories with him. He said when things aren't going well in a game, he thinks back to what Chester would say. Just get the ball to the wingers, and things would start to work. The voice of belief still guides me. The parallel between the two are striking. Both wingers of incredible speed from humble beginnings, quiet men off the field, but fierce competitors on it. That spirit was never more obvious than in the 2023 Rugby World Cup final, where Arendse made a spectacular try-saving tackle on the All Black Rico Ione, a player nearly 25 kilograms heavier than him. In that moment, the spirit of Chester Williams was alive and well in his protege. From packing pork bangers in a Paarl butchery to lifting the Rugby World Cup in Paris, Kurt Lee Arendse's journey is one of the modern rugby's most inspiring stories. It's a story of a player who refused to let his circumstances define him, who trained after a long day's work, always believing his chance would come. But more than that, it's a powerful story about mentorship. It proves that the talent, no matter how brilliant, needs a champion. For Kurt Lee Arendse, that champion was Chester Williams. A Springbok legend saw a kid from his hometown with nothing but a dream and gave him everything: a chance, a pair of boots, and unwavering belief. Today, as Arendse continues to light up world rugby for the Springboks and his club, he is more than just a world-class player. He is the living, breathing legacy of the man who saw the star within him long before the rest of the world. He is the torchbearer for Chester Williams, proving that the one person's belief can change a life forever. If you are inspired by this story, make sure to subscribe for Untold Rugby Stories and let us know in the comments below which other mentor-protege relationship in sports history deserves to be told.